Hi everyone, this is Lamore Schaffman here with the Innovation Network. I'm here with Luis Solis from Imaginatik. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
So your company focuses on what with corporations?
Making them innovation athletes, essentially. We're their coach. So we help them either acquire or build up their innovation competence and muscle.
So let's start right in the core. What are some key muscles that have atrophied over time, particularly in large corporations and in government agencies that you've noticed?
Yeah. Large organizations have difficulty making a big commitment and keeping it. That's number one. So staying the course on intent. Number two, allocating and dedicating resources to realize the innovation vision. That candidly is why many don't achieve the results they're looking for.
So one of the things I've observed sometimes with larger corporations is that not only do they do it's the commitment part, but also in a way that they're like, let me just test this. So they're going to do this little bit, but it really needs to be infrastructure wide. Is that what you're seeing, and what do you see as the cure for the particular issues?
First off, I agree with that assessment. And we try to coach executive boards and CEOs that it's a 3 to 5 year horizon. And when you look at the half-life of a CEO's career at Fortune 1000s, that means that horizon exceeds what most of the CEO tenure is. That's at the heart of the problem, which is most of the time someone's committing to do innovation and they're not going to be there to see it finish, which means the next person may or may not agree, may not support it. The way to solve this is to think in terms of balance sheet funding, not income statement funding. So instead of worrying about it being funded by the annual budgets every year, set aside money, almost like a fund, almost as if you're a venture capital firm, and fund it more like 5 years or 8 years and think of, this is going to take quite a bit of time, and my successor can't quite change it because we're going to go to the course and give this team commitment, see the projects through to value.
And it sounds like it really needs to start at the top. It really needs to be the CEO is it initiating or certainly buying in? What do you see necessary in the infrastructure of a company from a hierarchical perspective to really make innovation work within a company?
Yeah, there are 3 levels of innovation. So clearly sustaining, which is close to the core, transformative, which is adjacent, and disruptive. I think for the transformative and disruptive, for anything that exceeds a 1 year horizon, it has to be top down from the CEO. Operating businesses take care of close to the core, sustaining usually pretty well. But for transformative and disruptive, it is a CEO or chairman push with compensation and incentives at the executive level to support the course.
Now, another element is mid-management. Somehow mid-management gets sort of squeezed. We want this innovation to happen, but you still have to hit your numbers. We're not moving the bar on that either. And so they're like, how am I supposed to allocate resources to this innovation? I want to be part of this mission. I need to be part of this mission. Otherwise, frankly, I'm probably going to lose my job. But then if I don't hit my numbers, I'm going to lose my job. So how do we talk the message to them? And how should CEOs also think about what they need to do to support those middle managers?
Well, innovation and profound innovation of impact and value is only going to happen with middle managers who are really overseeing the resources of the organization. It's only going to happen with them being on board, supporting it, staffing it, and making it come to fruition. Therefore, as opposed to telling people how to innovate or what to innovate on, declare innovation and have a lot of those plans and teams and organizations start in the middle. If you own things, if you co-develop them, co-create them, you're going to see them to the end. You also know how to balance with the rest of your job. But too often the problem is people are told what to do instead of asked to create that innovation program.
So now, once we have the innovation that has happened, let's say, I've seen also that companies don't know what to do with it. Like, it's like, wow, we've got these great ideas. Now what? So how do you address those situations?
Yeah, well, we help organizations as their innovation coach, innovation catalyst, start with value in the market or value in their stakeholders in mind and work backwards. Innovation needs to start with the premise that it only creates value when it's in the marketplace, whether it's public, nonprofit, or commercial. So if you work that way, there is no innovation, really. There's only activity. There's creativity until there's an invoice, until it ships. There's an invoice, there's happier participants, stakeholders, or employees. And I think when you turn it around that way and work backwards, you get much better outcomes, much better traction.
So you're also advocating listening to the marketplace as a result? Is it a lean startup element that you're bringing in? How are you sort of translating maybe some of also the internal ways that they've been used to doing business that might need to change so that they're actually participating with this marketplace that they want to interact with, which sometimes that's where the innovation in itself has to happen.
Yeah. I think we started the day here with George Day, who is a fabulous author and thought leader in this area, talking about how important it is for executive management to participate and be steeped in customer communications, customer meetings, and sites. It's all about listening. So listening to new audiences in new ways, in different ways. And the more executive management and middle management and leaders do that, the quicker they get to the future, the quicker they get to what customers, stakeholders, or other organizations want in their ecosystem. I think that listening can be learned. That's a muscle to be developed. That's one of the muscles. And it's probably true in our personal lives as much as business lives or commercial lives. But it's really about listening and in new ways with a constant effort.
So do you have, perhaps for our audience, one quick exercise you could give us to help us pay attention to listen a little bit better?
Oh, I would say probably a good way is to only ask questions and don't provide answers when you're trying to develop a program of any kind. So really, instead of thinking about leading an innovation initiative with a PowerPoint that explains what to do, perhaps just as a leader, as a spokesman, ask the questions and be prepared to hear responses that don't fit your conception of what's supposed to happen. But keep asking questions, and what will happen as a leader is you will help your managers develop the insights that are the winning insights for innovation. Instead of trying to give them the answer, provoke them to come up with the insights. They're going to be better anyway than what you come up with on your own. I think that's probably the best way to go, is favor questions, less talking.
And as a last word, when you're thinking about innovation, how do you define it?
Innovation is bringing new things to the world that have commercial value that someone wants. It could be commercial only, it could be a new business model for distributing food in Africa, but it's actually, it has value, and I should modify, not commercial value, it has value to the stakeholders, and they want it soon, today, or tomorrow. And I think that notion of value is crucial. It isn't just clever or creative or ingenious, it actually has traction with a market of some kind. And I think when we remember that, then we spend more time on the right stuff.
And if I may add, I think stakeholders there could be both internal as well as external. There are a lot of ways of defining stakeholders. Would you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. In my book, Innovation Alchemist, which came out in the last year, I really talk about how important it is for innovation leaders to understand their stakeholder ecosystem. Because different leaders, the CFO wants less cost and possibly less risk. The head of marketing wants greater insights and something more impressive with tomorrow's customers. The head of R&D is trying to test brand new technologies. Every stakeholder has a different set of interests. You have to be aware of that in every organization, nonprofit, profit, or government, and make sure you're satisfying those interests. And that's what I talk about in Innovation Alchemists.
Luis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good day.